Hey everybody, we're going to be doing a sunset, okay? So this is an image that was taken from the title page of an article about the science of colors in a sunset. And so it's gorgeous, it's saturated, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to use very saturated colors, and we are going to be inspired by this. We're not going to copy it. You can use the same colors. What I did with the composition is I have directional lines for the colors and how the shapes kind of go. And there's a very dark spot on the right-hand middle side that things seem to radiate out of. And so I did a little bit of wet on wet, and now I'm just getting kind of colors in there. The wet on wet, I got that because I was looking at where the bluish purple is. And that was my starting point. I like to kind of ground myself and create a roadmap. And that roadmap, I am starting with the blues and the purples. Now I'm getting some reds in there. It's still very saturated, very dark value in the top sky where the sun is no longer shining there. A lot of it's in shadow. When I'm doing this, when I'm getting the colors, there's a lot of pigment to water ratio. And that color is sitting right next to other colors. And when you do a painting like this, and you really pay attention to how much water's on your brush, how wet your paper is, and how much pigment is in the mix, the window stays open really, really long. You can do a lot of things. You can make a lot of changes. And you want to pay attention to edges. There's points where I will pull out some color, and I do that with a clean, slightly damp paintbrush. Sometimes I'm pulling out color to emphasize the composition. Sometimes I'm pulling out color because I want to put another color down in its place. Ooh, there shouldn't be purple here. I need bright orange here. So I will pull out some purple, and then I'll get some bright orange in there. And you can go back and forth. I can put orange into purple, I can put purple into orange, and I do not get mud with this technique. So that's pretty cool. Now there are edges that kind of sometimes feather out as the paint moves within the other paint. It's not necessarily a bloom, but if you don't like that, throughout this whole process, you want to pay attention to your edges. If you like really blended edges, then do really blended edges. But I would advise you to let the edges go just a little bit. You need to control them to a certain extent, but this isn't about perfection at all. This is about saturation. This is about color. This is about a technique where you have real control over your paint, and you have real control over your color, and you have real choices, and you have a window that stays open really, really long. So throughout this whole thing, you want to try to look, you want to see your composition. As you look and you adjust, change things. There's nothing in here that is permanent. You can just keep changing it. On the bottom, I pulled away a little bit of the dark horizon and I put some yellow in there. I'm readjusting the look of the white. Yeah, it just keeps going. You can get real dark values. You can pull up and get lighter values. It's a fun, freeing exercise. And we're going to do this in class, and hopefully you'll do it once before class. It'd be great to see what people come up with.